Gotcha. How'd you end up at Cal Poly? You two.
That's a interesting question. I don't know. Like, it was just the best option. What was that?
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself.
What did you say?
I don't know what you said.
I'm so lost.
No, I swear I was just talking to myself.
Gotcha.
Welcome back. Episode number 22 of the podcast. This is the Meadow. We are joined here today by
Adam.
Kelly.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on. I'm excited. Number 22. This is going by fast. This is weird for me because time flies, and yeah, this is interesting. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, why you're here.
So I'm Adam. I'm studying software engineering here at Cal Poly, and I live in Sierra Madre, which are kind of the scary dorms.
The prison-looking ones.
Yeah, not as bad as red bricks though.
No, red bricks get really hot.
Yeah, and they smell.
They do? Like what?
Like each different building has its own scent.
Really?
It's not it.
That's funny.
But it's kind of the party dorm, so.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy Sierra Madre? What's Sierra Madre?
Yeah, well, okay. Sierra Madre, they're known as being pretty social, but RRA, dude, he does not let us do anything. Literally 10:30, we're playing music, it's shut down.
Swear?
Yeah. And it's funny because the RA on the first floor actually talks trash about RRA on the third floor. Literally, it's not bad.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Damn,
Yeah.
let me introduce myself.
Oh, fine. Okay. Hey, Kelly's trying to talk real quick.
All right. I'm Kelly. I'm an econ major. I'm over one building over at Sitkawayu, and I am a first year here.
What are you studying, Kelly?
Econ.
Did you say that?
I did say that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm an econ major, but I'm trying to switch into bio. I don't know why they put me in these.
Econ to bio, that's a kind of a jump. Why so? How come?
It's a little bit complicated, but I've always wanted to be a dentist. I thought that having an econ degree would help in terms of opening a practice in the future.
Yeah.
But then I got here and I'm like, damn, I can't do econ and the dental prereqs, so I'm trying to switch into bio.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So yeah.
The aspirations. Wow.
What was your major again, Adam?
Software engineering.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So,
that's actually a really cool major. I like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's pretty interesting because
It sounds hard. Is it getting hard or? You're
honestly, right now, not so much. I'm in a data structures class, but I'm in two GEs, so I can't really complain,
All right. Well, he's also in Calc 3, so.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's a little tough.
It's a little hard.
That's a little tough.
It's a little hard.
I don't know, but honestly though, looking at my schedule and next quarter schedule, I'm so chilling right now, and that's why for rushing frats and stuff, I was probably should have done it this quarter.
Right.
Did you do it or no?
See, I did rush, and then I was a pledge for a business fraternity.
Okay.
But I realized I want more of a social fraternity instead.
Yeah.
So I ended up dropping that. So I'll go back next quarter.
You're gonna rush next quarter?
Yeah, that's the
cool.
plan.
That's cool how that works. You can rush per quarter
Yeah.
instead of at the beginning of the year.
So you're gonna do a social frat this time?
Yeah.
Oh,
because
that sounds fun.
the business frat, I vibed with my pledge class and
Right.
my pledge educators or pledge parents as they call them,
Right.
but not
That's
yeah,
kinda funny.
but more so I'm looking for more of the social aspects. So.
Yeah, no, I would too. I've been thinking about rushing too.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel frat life and sorority life are so different.
They are.
Frat life, it's I mean, I know you're not supposed to haze people, but there's that aspect, and it's a lot of partying and all that. But with sorority life, it's just kind of infamous for just you have to be really fake to people.
I was just gonna say it's
And,
the fake aspect.
I wish it could be more frat rushing, but it's not.
It's also a pretty scary process from what I've heard.
Right.
You can get dropped by groups, and then once you're dropped, you're done. It's they're judging you. They even make tallies on you or whatever. It's just weird.
Yeah, and it's really shallow. It's really just how attractive you are.
Oof.
Imagine how hurt you'd be if they all dropped you. It's just it's rough. I think that played.
And I'm sure that
part.
did happen.
Right.
I'm
No,
sure people-
definitely.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, people compare how many sororities dropped you at the end of the day. And
Oh,
yeah.
that's tough. Where are you two from?
I'm from the Bay Area.
Bay Area, where?
San Jose.
Oh, okay.
Went to Bellarmine.
Yeah. What is that? High school?
Yeah, it's a high school.
Okay.
There's 20, 25 guys here who came from that high school.
Are you serious?
It's the second most highest school on the list that kids go to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's really high up there.
25. That's a lot.
Yeah,
So you probably know a lot of people on campus.
Yeah, 25 to be exact.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch around here.
Yeah, and I'm also from the Bay. I'm from San Jose. I went to Presentation, which is actually his sister school.
Yeah.
Oh, are they all boys and all girls school?
Yeah, I went to all boys. She went to all girls.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we never knew each other,
Yeah.
so we kind of we met.
Well,
here.
how does that dynamic work? Do those schools like have activities together? Do you usually see like the boys from the other school and vice versa?
There's mixers that go on. That's like the
There
only
is.
official stuff that the school.
What's a mixer? Like a party or something?
It's just like a
It's like
dance.
It's
a
a
school's
school.
dance.
It's a
That's
school
all it
like
is.
function. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like I never really went, so I couldn't have seen him. And I think
Yeah.
like the only other like event where we got together was track and field, right? Like I know that's how like
Yeah,
whatever,
sports. That was
Yeah,
another way.
Okay.
And like seeing
Gotcha.
No, we
football
yeah.
games. But
Same tuition. We didn't even have our own like track and field. Their school is like
Really?
3 times bigger than ours.
Yeah.
So unfair.
now we had
Yeah, we had to like go to your school for your.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
We didn't have our own.
Huh.
So the presentation girls would always be on the field.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Kind
How'd
of.
you end up at Cal Poly? You two.
That's a interesting question. I don't know. Like it was just the best option. What was that?
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself.
what did you say?
I don't know what
I'm
you said.
so lost.
No, I swear I was just talking to myself.
Gotcha. Yeah, like it was just one of the best options that I had. I love the weather. Like
Yeah.
everybody's so social and friendly.
Everyone is.
Like you walk around and it's like everybody's always doing something. I love
Right,
just
yeah.
walking, out on the grass here in Yakatutu. Like everybody's
Yeah.
playing spike ball or
Shout
throwing
out
the
Doug.
football around. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out Doug. Did
Yeah, I have
just
to say,
Doug?
like, it's probably like the most like collegey school that
For
I got
sure.
into. I mean, I was considering a lot of other schools. Some were just really small, and some
Mhm.
were like in the middle of the forest. So it's
Oh.
like this was kind of what I was looking for. I mean, like UC Santa Cruz.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
kind of like in the middle of a forest, and I don't know
Gotcha.
if that was necessarily what I was looking for.
Yeah. Weren't you also looking for like graduating really quick too?
Right. Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
the thing about SLO is like they were one of the only schools that would accept 3s on AP tests, and I got a bunch of those. So
Yeah,
it's like,
but also you're selling yourself short now. Weren't you the valedictorian?
oh my God, Adam.
What? What? Am I not supposed to drop that?
I mean, okay, I was, but they basically like rescinded that at like my last
Really?
quarter.
Aw.
So we have this thing called like a research paper that every grade does every
Mhm.
semester, and I had like the worst senioritis my senior year.
Yeah, no, we
I-
all
yeah.
can relate.
No,
yeah.
it was COVID, and I did not want to write that paper, and so I didn't.
You didn't
and
write the paper?
No, my English grade went from like an A to like a C minus.
Oh,
I swear.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was
I was
the-
actually a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to like graduate. Because
Really?
I thought I was going to like drop to D, but somehow like I think maybe my teacher just like cut me some slack or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But
That's
I graduated,
crazy.
and then they were like, "Oh nope, I'm gonna rescind that real quick." They gave it to another
Gotcha.
girl. So
Gotcha. But you're still doing good here though, because what? You're graduating early. Very
I
early,
mean,
right?
hopefully we'll see.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of AP
work
credits
with,
transferring over? Is that why?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
that,
okay.
and then like some community college
I was
classes.
gonna say, are you in 6 classes right now?
I took 6 over this past summer, and I'm in.
That's insane.
You took
yeah.
6 classes this summer?
Yeah.
What
I was-
the community college, like Foothill or whatever?
Oh no. I took it at West Valley.
Oh,
like
okay.
it's pretty close to my house.
Oh.
Everything was like async though, which was pretty easy because I was working. And so you can really work around that. So it really wasn't that bad. It was just a bunch of like GE courses and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then how many credits? Because I know like we just got our progress reports or whatever.
Right.
And, like some people are 20% done, others are like 30.
Oh.
Do you know what your percentage is?
Yeah, I'm like 68%.
That's insane.
You can graduate in 2 years. then.
Yeah, that's the plan, but I knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself. Classes are getting harder, so I don't know. But
You have
we'll see, yeah.
60. You're 68% done. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We'll see.
Because last week you were just like midterm, like
No, it was- yeah.
nonstop.
I mean, I actually, this layout of my building is like exactly the same as Dylan's. And so I was actually in like this room of my building, and I pulled like 2 all-nighters like straight. I think I took a
What?
3-hour nap in between. I was just,
keep talking.
all right, there was like, I had like a speech due that I hadn't even started. I had a chem midterm. Like everything was last week. I was like dying inside. I really thought that I was gonna jump off a cliff.
And so what? You're just napping in common rooms?
No, I mean I took a nap like in my room, like during the middle of the day.
Didn't want to get on Cal Poly Sleeps?
No, that I'm actually terrified of that. That's
really?
like the only
Why
thing,
is that?
That's
The accounts are so funny.
That is the only thing stopping me from like sleeping in public. Like I think I was in the library, I was like dozing off, and I'm like, no, not gonna be on Cal Poly.
I feel like that's
Sleep.
the funniest shit though.
Yeah.
Except a lot of it is, getting faked now.
Yeah. No,
Which even I kind of.
No, I think it was.
I might have submitted some.
It was you.
Falsified
no,
photos.
Literally. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, but we got them posted.
No. I gotta talk about this. You posting like 2 of our friends on Cal Poly Sleeps. I think I'm scared of you.
Oh, really? No, those were what? There was the Brody one, and then there was the one where I fell asleep on Grand Avenue in the middle of the intersection.
How did you fall asleep on Grand Avenue?
I mean,
it was a long night.
Oh, okay,
way.
yeah.
It was Friday, 3 a.m.
Gotcha.
Shit happens. That's all
It does. Shit does happen.
shit happens. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What's the craziest story you have so far at Cal Poly?
Oh, craziest story, Kelly. You take this one.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like there's been so many. Like,
yeah. Trying to think of stuff that's on.
I really couldn't tell you. I would have to think about this for longer. Craziest story.
Like, of course, there's the whole, ski parties that have been happening. So ski club.
Yeah.
Having all the parents show up.
Wait, did that actually happen? Did parents actually show up
I
to that?
brought my parents to ski club.
Did you really know? Did they do any cake stands or anything?
Oh, yeah. No, they had everything going. Like,
okay.
Yeah,
That's super
got some jungle juice for my parents and all that.
Really?
So
cool.
It was funny. So many photos.
I was like in my dorm. I was like watching on my phone, and I was like, these people are crazy. That is so weird.
Yeah, it was the funniest shit.
That
like,
is so weird.
Some parents would never
do that.
Some parents would never let that happen. But like,
Right.
I guess my parents know like it's college.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen. But
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
but
they're probably just trying to relive their college years.
Exactly. No. Some of the photos from that night, though. Oh my god, with the posing with all the moms.
Oh.
Some guys were. Yeah, they're really
I can
going for it.
imagine.
Asking, every single mom, can we get a photo? Can we get a group photo?
That's
and then
pretty funny, actually.
They do like the TikTok montage at the end, you know?
So that's how you know your mom's hot then.
What? I don't even, I'm supposed to respond to that. Hey, people were just trying to get the numbers up. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No, it was a funny night.
Growing up, we're gonna change course real quick.
Okay, switching it up.
Switching it up. What did you do growing up? What were your hobbies? What were your passions? What did life look like before college?
I was kind of a nerd. Like I was really into, Minecraft, and I even had a YouTube channel.
Oh, swear?
What'd
you post? What'd you post?
I made like these only one command block videos, like redstone stuff.
Okay.
And I would post those, and I would get like decent viewership. Like one of my most popular videos was like 50K. Like
seriously?
Views. Yeah. So I was doing all right.
Whoa.
And that was like 6th, 7th grade. And
Dang.
yeah, so I was just like trying to grind those videos out because I was like super into it. And I was trying to like monetize my own server. Like, dude, I was like so into it.
Whatever happened? How'd you get out of it?
I just like, I don't know. I got bored of it, you know, as games do. Like when it becomes a job, you know, it kind of,
I see what you mean.
You lose that interest. So then in high school, I started getting to more like just actual programming, not so much like Minecraft programming, you know? And so I did some freelance work there. And so that's how I really got into software engineering.
What's the difference between software engineering and computer science?
So 95% of the classes are the same. Really, I'm just required to take more classes, and CS guys have like less requirements. They're just optional classes. And CS is more theory based. So like algorithms and stuff.
Gotcha.
Where software engineering, my side's more of like building software, like from the ground up, back end, front end, that type of stuff. So,
that makes sense.
Which that's like really what I'm into, is like making nothing or making something from nothing, you know?
Do you know what you want to do yet? Like with that?
Yeah, like building software, like working at a startup would be sick.
Okay, cool.
You know, with friends in high school and even here now at Cal Poly, like have that very entrepreneurial drive.
Yeah.
You know, working with guys and trying to build stuff. So I've always just been into making. Yeah.
Cool.
I've actually ran into Will earlier today, and he mentioned something about.
William Slav.
No,
Which
Will
Will?
Clark.
Oh, my roommate. Yeah.
Your roommate. And he mentioned something about Amazon. You want to tell us about that?
It's like unofficial right now, but I was just contacted by an Amazon recruiter.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
Yeah.
Did you go to the job fair or something? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they took my resume and everything.
What'd they say?
Well, the funny thing is they reached out to me, which never happens, but I think they said I was a good fit for a full-time position over summer.
No, that's awesome.
Nothing's like,
Whoa.
Hold
up.
Nothing's guaranteed right now, which is why I maybe didn't want to bring it up. But yeah, that was cool. So I was really excited about that.
No, I think whether or not it's like set.
Yeah, so we don't know if it'll go through.
I think that's awesome. It was really impressive.
That's cool that Amazon is interested in you.
Yeah,
that's
just
sweet.
to be reached out to is definitely flattering.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes.
So as for me, I grew up with basically just one thing, basketball. I think I played around 12 years.
12, that's long.
Yeah, so that was my life from like elementary school all the way till high school. And the reason I actually went to my high school presentation was for basketball. And that's pretty much all I did every weekend, just going to Oakland, San Francisco, playing like in these tourneys.
Wow.
And I actually like kind of like tore my ACL my sophomore year of high school.
Oh.
And I had really thought I was going to play basketball in college, but it took me around a year to recover. And when I got back, it just like, I couldn't get to where I was again. It just wasn't possible. Like just didn't feel as athletic, couldn't run as fast. And it was just always like there.
Was that more of a mental thing or do you think it was physical?
No, it was definitely physical.
Yeah.
But also like kind of mental, but kind of was like a blessing in disguise. I'm not sure I would have wanted to play in college. But it just kind of sucks 'cause I feel like I don't have like that many other passions and I really got to explore that. But like I said, it is a blessing in disguise. I get to, be in college and figure out like what other things I might like to do.
What other interests you have?
Yeah.
Other passions?
Right, yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a few others that I'd like to get into, but we'll see. I mean, I still have a few years here, so
hopefully the bio thing works out.
Yeah,
Switching.
hopefully. Yeah.
Have you talked to the Mustang Success Center and like done the switch or what's the?
I got approved for the major switch.
Oh, swear!
Already?
They take like 10 days to get back to you. You just have to write like 3 basically like replies to their questions, and then you submit it. And they check like your GPA right now, and I think they check if you originally would have gotten in for the major that you want to switch into. So I was a little bit worried because bio is pretty impacted, but luckily I think because I started early, they ended up agreeing. But there's this contract that you have to do. You have to take like these specific bio classes, and you have to get a certain GPA, or else like you can't switch into it. So.
But as long as you fulfill that, you're good to go, right?
Right, but it is a little stressful because it's like they tell you have to get like this GPA next quarter. So
yeah, but if you're becoming a dentist, though, does it matter what your undergrad?
No, I guess it technically doesn't matter. You just have to take the prereqs. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a process, but hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. What are the other passions you're talking about getting involved with?
Oh my God.
What are you passionate about, Kelly? That's what the audience wants to know.
Very like a very hard question because I feel like I haven't really explored that much.
Yeah.
This is so embarrassing. I really like theater.
Okay. Dude, I love theater.
I love like I took like a theater class my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And I was just like doing like tech in the back.
Yeah. You like backstage?
I loved it. Like handling props and like just like making sure like the actors like get to where they need to be. But I feel like it's like one of those things that's kind of looked down upon.
No, dude, I'm in a theater class right now.
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, theater major," like or whatever.
Right,
Like if you're a theater major, people say things, but
right.
I'm in a theater class right now. It's like it's probably my best class. Like it's so interesting.
No, it's really fun. I love like the ambiance of like being in a theater. I love all the aspects about it, but yeah.
So you're saying like more of the back end?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so not so much like acting.
No, not really. I don't think I could do that.
Actor, okay.
yeah, but it's just not very practical. Like,
Yeah,
just
but,
in
like,
terms,
it's
it
a
is
hobby thing
fun,
now.
right?
Yeah.
But like when I'm like focusing on my classes, it's like it's hard to find time to even like do the things you want to do. I'm sure, like,
Well, especially when you have 6 classes. Like,
right? Yeah,
that is chaos.
I don't know why I did that. Never again. So
Yeah.
It's a really good thing I had both cameras here because the second one
Oh.
died. I mean, the first one died.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we jump in between.
Yeah, we jump in between.
okay,
Hope you don't mind.
no, not at all.
You have a really cool passion and hobby that I want to talk about.
Sure. Music production.
Music
Is that where it's
production.
going?
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So I guess like freshman year in
Okay.
high school, like I really started getting into production. Just
Yeah.
like hearing a lot of these EDM tracks, I was like, how do they make that? Like I've always been into like creating stuff with a laptop, as you know, like with the software side of things. And music's like one of those other things. It's like, oh, all I need is a laptop and I could like make all these sounds.
Yeah.
So I started getting into it like freshman year.
Super dope.
Then kind of started like taking a break when school started picking up. But then COVID hit and it's like, you have all this time. And so it's like, why am I not gonna, get involved with this?
And take advantage of the time you had to yourself.
Yeah. So I started like really getting into it more. Started finally paying for like higher quality software, which like that made like the biggest difference in like, the quality of production. So yeah, I've just been like really getting into it. Then there's the whole collaborations. Those are really fun.
What kind of music do you make?
I make rap, like R&B beats,
Okay.
a lot of EDM, a lot of subgenres of EDM.
Medium.
And there's even some indie stuff as well.
Yeah.
But recently, since I've been here at SLO, the first few weeks I was like just doing beats because I'd have people on my floor, like they'd come around and they'd give me a challenge, or like Kelly would give me a challenge. One of my favorite beats that I've made here, Kelly told me to make a Blade Runner style beat. So
What's Blade Runner?
It's a movie, and there's like this iconic like arpeggio at the beginning of one of the soundtracks, and so I sampled that and I flipped it into a beat. And so that was really fun to work on.
Super sweet.
I know, and I also think he's being a little bit humble right here.
What do you mean?
I know when I met you and you were like, I create music. I think I remember being like, oh, he creates music. Like,
Yeah.
ha ha ha.
The classic.
Because I'm super into like raves and like just EDM in general. I was like, okay, let's see what he's got. I go to your room. You got the whole setup going.
Oh yeah,
and you start playing. You start playing some of your things, and my jaw just like drops.
Really?
Like-
You're
No,
flattering
dude.
me too much right now.
Okay,
No,
wait.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I met Adam probably the second week of school or something, or maybe the first week.
Yeah.
I went to his room. He played me some of his stuff. Like, it like gives you tingles. Like
No,
the way he
really?
mixes
Yeah,
it too. The way he mixes it, like he'll transfer between songs like perfectly.
Oh yeah, and the
He transferred
DJing
once.
side of things.
I didn't
yeah.
even. Oh yeah. So music production, just like what
Yeah.
he makes, and then also how he like presents it. It's crazy.
Right.
He
Really?
transferred. He has a mixer and he just transferred, and I didn't even notice he did it once. And I was like, what the heck?
You guys are flattering me
Oh,
too
yeah,
much right
and,
now.
And like,
Yeah.
and you said like you started like your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? I wanted to listen to some of your older stuff, and I was like, just like play me anything. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
but these are bad from my sophomore year.
Yeah.
You play me I think it was the Taylor Swift.
Oh
one.
yeah, the Taylor
It is
Swift remix.
so good. I think it's just natural talent. Like I'm not
Really?
even just trying to flatter you, but
This is.
it is.
I appreciate it.
I
You
love
guys
his
are flattering
music.
me
Like
way
if
too
he's
much right
not DJing, I'm not going.
Really.
You've even you've DJ'd a few places, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess I got into DJing at the start of summer.
Okay.
I figured I'm really into making music.
Yeah.
Time to like play it
Yeah.
for other people,
Mhm.
So I figured I'll pick up a DJ controller. So I did that at the start of summer.
Cool.
And I started at one friend's house, and it was just, myself and maybe like 10, 15 other people, just friends, and set the whole, speakers up and the mixer up, and we just went. And I remember, I was at the controller for like, 30 minutes or so. Everything's going good. And I'd step away for literally like 20 seconds to just like go grab a drink real quick, right? I step away, music just cuts out, just silence. And I like have a heart attack. I'm like, why? Like, it's just dead silence. It's the worst thing that could happen as a DJ, right? It's
yeah.
like music just cutting. I run back and I try and figure out what's wrong. I still don't know to this day what happened. I'm pretty sure like my equipment overheated. So I made sure to replace that one part that I think overheated, but we haven't had that issue since then. But yeah, it was just like starting with that one super small kind of test run event, which I'm glad I did because I figured out that one faulty part.
Yeah.
But then it was just like, bigger and bigger parties over summer.
That's super dope, actually.
Yeah.
That's another thing though. Like your stuff is like a lot of the stuff that I can listen to on like SoundCloud or like stuff that's on SoundCloud, and I'm wondering why won't you upload?
I am planning a release right now, actually.
Are you
I
serious?
have album covers done.
Oh, really?
The song is done. It's mixed and mastered. So
how many songs? Just one?
This is just a single. I have quite a few songs in the queue, but I figured just for like marketing, it's easier to just do one at a time rather than like doing a full album drop. So I have a lot of songs in the queue, but I'm just planning on releasing them single after single.
Okay.
Is this song you made it from scratch, like on?
Yeah.
So
the plan is to have Spotify, Apple Music, like all the major streaming platforms. That's gonna be all my original music, and then SoundCloud. That's where I'll put a lot of like my beat remix type stuff.
Yeah, your samples that you like.
Exactly. Yeah, because that way I don't have any licensing issues on the major streaming. But major streaming will be completely original music.
Okay.
So when are you gonna do that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
Sorry, I meant to say, what direction are you going towards, like in terms of genre?
I'm definitely going to stick with EDM for now. Kind of like
yes.
Slap House is really trendy.
What's that?
It's like a subgenre of house, which is a subgenre of EDM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so house music, Slap House, it's kind of like the just very like bassy remixes you probably hear all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
I can imagine in my head right now. I just don't want to try to beatbox it. But
yeah. No, Kelly will do it for you.
Really?
No.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
No. I couldn't do that.
So, I'm really excited for that release to finally get it out there because people always ask, oh, like what's the SoundCloud, what's the Spotify, what this or that.
Yeah,
but
do it.
Yeah, I need to finally get out there. So that's like the next step for me as far as like my extracurricular life here at Cal Poly.
So say you make it,
it's
just like when you make when he makes it.
When I make it, what do you mean?
When Adam makes it, is this going to be something that's like a side hobby on top of your software engineering, or do you want this to be your life? Like,
a lot of guys are like, oh, like this needs to be my job or whatever. Like no other options. I do view it like as a hobby. Like I love making music, and kind of like when I was in middle school, I don't want to like make it so much into a job that I lose my passion for it.
I see.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like to really just view it as like something I do in my free time, something I do with friends. Like it's always fun to just have people like, back home, sit on the bed and just like hear you work on a beat and they give you advice. Like that's just the best, the best feeling. And so, I just plan on keeping it.
What's your producer name?
I'm going by Adam Mika. Okay. So my full name is Adam Mikasic, but like people can't spell it or pronounce it.
Oh yeah.
I just shorten it. Adam Mika, keep it easy.
That's cool.
It's not taken, so
sweet. Do you have a hosting service already? Like set up so you can post?
A distributor? Yeah. So I'm getting that set up.
Cool.
But it's crazy for the streaming services. You need to plan that stuff out like 4 weeks.
How come?
In advance. So like it flushes through the system and it goes through like all the checks.
Oh.
So like I can set the release date to like next week if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee that'll be released by then.
That's weird.
So like if I do 5 weeks out, it'll guaranteed be on that date. If I do in 1 week, it may be released in 1 week, but it could be up to 4 weeks.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So sometimes they do get fleshed out quick within like 3 or 5 days. Like that's only the fastest it'll be. So for this track, I'll probably plan on doing 2 weeks out because we're coming up on Halloween weekend. I don't really want it to drop during Halloween, because there's all like all the other stuff going on. Okay. So probably the week following that.
Do you think a lot of like, because my friend also makes beats, and do you think a lot of getting famous or like getting seen as a producer is a luck, or do you think that there is a big separation between like what someone makes versus another person?
I think there's like a crazy business aspect to it.
Yeah.
And like marketing push.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if honestly I'm as like passionate about. Like I was saying, some guys are super into like, oh, this is going to be my job.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of like people are just always asking like, oh, can I, add this to my Spotify? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have it there. So it's more of just like for that situation.
Yeah.
To just kind of like say, to legitimize myself as like an artist almost and say like, oh, it's like official and to allow people to actually have access to my music. 'Cause people are always, asking for the links.
I mean, that's why I ask you
Yeah.
I want it in my library to listen to whenever I want to.
Yeah.
And,
I want it too. Are you going to try to play here on campus?
As far as DJing?
Yeah, like at a party or something? Or?
Yeah. So obviously we've done a lot of like unofficial, like dorm room parties.
Yeah.
And so I've been, DJing those, which have been really fun.
Yeah.
I think they've been a success for like dorm room parties.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely
we all love it.
been running it up. But I have my studio monitors here, which I use as my loudspeakers.
Okay.
And yeah, one of the funny parties we actually did is in the common room in Sierra Madre.
The one with the piano, the large one, or what?
Tower 0. So
I don't know.
Yeah, we were actually able to set up like the whole DJ setup and like a pong table and everything in one of the common rooms.
Oh, sweet.
And it was like the perfect setup. But yeah, we had a ton of people turn out for that. Had the crazy lighting going, so that was really fun.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
Some of the guys made like these light covers out of cardboard boxes to like cover the common room lights because they're always on.
Oh, and then it turned to a different color or something?
Well, no, so we did just blackout the whole room.
Oh.
Yeah, so that way when we had like the laser lights and everything going,
sweet.
it like sick. So it was definitely like, one of the best on-campus parties. There's definitely nothing like that, going on in the dorm room.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So we've had some success. I also did DJ like an off-campus kickback.
Oh, okay, cool.
At, friend's house. So trying to just like get into more of like the off-campus stuff.
Is it hard to transport all your stuff? You kind of got a lot.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of equipment. But like the off-campus thing, I had a friend with a car who helped pick everything up and ship it over. But as far as like, running it around on campus, I just get a bunch of guys. Hey, you grab this box, and we all just head over, and it works out. You just hear that?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Someone just yelled.
Yikes.
How did you two meet?
How did we meet? That's a good question.
I actually think the very, very first time that we met was when I was FaceTiming.
That's
one
right.
Of my friends, and then you were also FaceTiming them at the same time, and then somehow it just like they like brought us together on FaceTime, and I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Like,
So one of my close friends from back home, Nika, she went to her school, and I guess you two knew each other, and I think they were on a call and like I FaceTime Nika. I have no idea for what reason, but then she's like, "Oh, Adam, just like join the call." So they threw me.
Oh, you were joining the. Oh,
yeah.
okay,
So I was thrown into like the group
Right.
FaceTime, and that's when we first met. And
Right. It was. I remember it like being awkward. I think. Like,
yeah. No, Nika was like, "Oh, Kelly's going to Cal Poly too." I was like, "Oh, sick."
Yeah, and I know I like made like a stupid joke, and like you were like,
I honestly don't remember the FaceTime at all, but that was technically, I guess, our first time meeting.
Right.
But in person here,
then,
I think it was through Nika again, and ever since it's been a beautiful story. No.
No, but she was right, because I think the reason she put you in that call was because she was telling me that, oh, I'd really like Adam, and I think like vice versa.
Yeah.
And although it was like awkward in the beginning, I like met you in person here, and like we've been like friends like immediately.
Yeah.
Have you two established any like good friend groups? Like, are you guys in a friend group that you think's gonna last?
Yeah, I would say so, because we have like
we're in a good friend group together.
It's like I don't know, 8 to like 10ish people. It's like one of those.
There's no way it's like 8 to 10 people.
Well, I'm including all the guys too. If you include the guys, we can name drop right now. Why can't we name drop?
All right, so we've got you,
Will, Tristan, Brody, and then we have Nika, Courtney, yourself,
Ksenia,
myself, Ksenia.
I already counted you.
Oh,
Dylan.
so we're at 7. Dylan. Well,
Ksenia.
yeah, I guess like on the daily that we hang out with, it's like those 7.
Right. Okay, yeah.
But there's always like
7.
that drop-in group,
No,
like,
we're missing.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad. We're definitely missing people right now.
Oh.
Oh no, the classic.
Oh,
but there's always like the,
Okay,
the drop-in group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. There's always.
I would say like 7, like solid, always there.
Yeah, that's
type
cool.
group, and then kind of floating in and out. But then of course I still have like a bunch of friend groups from back home, like Doug.
Yeah, how do you know Doug?
Doug's like best friend since forever. We went to elementary, middle school, high school. And now college together, and he lives like 10 houses from me. So,
swear.
Yeah. So over like COVID, we would always like play spike ball. Like that was one thing that we.
Are you raw too?
I'm not like as
because
good as
Doug's
Doug.
like
Doug is next level.
Doug's known on campus.
No, I think.
Oh, is he?
Well, just like as far as like freshmen, like Yakatutu, yeah.
Oh, like.
Everyone
No,
knows Doug.
Doug is probably the best freshman here.
Oh, that's
No
what,
question.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not Doug level.
No.
I'm not terrible, but definitely not Doug level. But yeah, no, Doug like definitely got my whole friend group like into spikeball.
That's cool.
And so yeah, we had like our friend group of like 8 or 9 people during COVID. So it'd be like a great thing to do outside because like you don't have to worry. We had a park right by our house, so literally every other day at least we would show up and play for like 2-3 hours.
Dang.
Like yeah, we would get multiple nets going, pull up the app and invite randoms over. Yeah,
There's an app for spikeball?
Oh yeah, and it has like your spikeball ranking score.
Okay.
So, like, like in comparison, like what the
Who
skill
ranks?
level
Like
is.
other people?
Yeah, so like you like rank yourself,
Oh.
and so
You rank yourself, really?
well, yeah, but there's like very objective things like, oh, can you do like this type of serve?
Okay, I gotcha.
okay.
So like it's pretty objective, and
I gotcha.
it's not like a thing to flex. It's just so like you can play people who are equal skill.
Okay.
That
Can
way-
you leave ratings on people like after you play them? Like this person was not good.
I don't think you
This person
can.
was
That should
not
be
a 10
that's
out of 10.
exactly. That's a good suggestion though.
Yeah, that'd be a cool part to add to the app.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's. I don't recall that feature.
How are both of yours wows? Week of welcomes.
Ooh.
Oh man. Okay.
You want to get started?
Yeah. I didn't go to WoW.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't go to anything? Any event on WoW?
No. I went like the last day. I mean, I didn't know who my WoW group was, and there's no way I could find them because I missed the first day and like the days following that.
Gotcha.
But on the very last day, I just joined my roommate's group. I mean, her WoW leaders were pretty chill, so they just let me join as
That's
like
cool.
the 26th person.
What'd you do in the time being? Like while everyone was doing events and stuff?
I had a friend come here from home, so he was just hanging out with me. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was just
Well, yeah.
Yeah. My group. Well, our WoW leaders didn't really like plan too much.
Same. My
They
WoW
would
leaders
get
didn't plan.
canceled because I would hear like other WoW groups were like, oh, we have like these 4 things today, and like the itinerary is just full. For us, I think the whole week we only had like one real plan, and that was to go to the beach, and we went straight up for 2 hours. Like it was less than that. It was like an hour and 30 minutes, and of course I brought the spikeball net, so
Oh, okay.
we ran that
The
up.
essentials.
Yeah, exactly. So we ran that up, but literally besides that, like my WoW group didn't do much. Like we went to all like the mandatory, meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just like kind of tagged along with some other groups who were, out doing stuff. So.
Are you liking it here at Cal Poly?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What's
Like,
your rating?
rating? What do you mean?
1 to 9. I mean 1 to 10.
1 to 9.
1 to 10.
I give it an 8 out of 9.
8 out of 9. Okay.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's just so fun though. Like people are
is.
always doing something. If I want to go play spikeball right now, I could. Like
Definitely.
it's what time is it? It's almost 9 o'clock.
People
I
are
could
playing.
go play
People are
spikeball
playing
right now.
basketball to like 3 a.m. or like
Oh.
I
volleyball
know.
or like.
There's the volleyball courts getting run up, and there's so many people who are also into music, like going back to the music production thing. Even on my floor, there's one vocalist. He's a rapper, and like he has like good quality, production. And so
Have you tried to do anything with him?
I've been like producing a bunch of beats that he can hop on, but yeah, we're gonna work on some stuff.
Swear.
And then there's like 2 other producers I met here in Yakatutu that I'm gonna work with. So there's so many plans right now.
That's exciting.
So
I agree. There's just like anything you want to do, like right now, there will be someone who's doing it.
it's just such a cool environment. And I think the school really lives by the work hard, play hard, mentality.
Right.
Which I think it's like great to like, grind during the week and then just blow off your steam.
Are you doing pretty good school wise, both of you?
Yeah, no, definitely academically.
It's getting tougher though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot to handle. Definitely harder than I thought it was gonna be. But,
The transition was a little weird. Like we just came off summer and I didn't do anything all summer. So hopping back into school and with this much workload, it was a little hard on me. But
right.
I think I'm getting used to it.
And I think
Maybe.
people like often like forget to acknowledge the fact that like we went from like barely seeing anyone to like seeing like so many different new people like all the time, and
That's
it's
so true.
like it's so overwhelming and like no one talks about it.
Yeah.
But it's like you're going from like group to group. Like just like classes, clubs, like friend groups, everything. And it's just like my social battery has like declined since the beginning of COVID for sure. And it's a lot.
And it's also like you don't want to get FOMO too. Like I don't know how it is for you guys, but for me it's like FOMO, like I need to be there. If I get invited, it's like I feel the need to go. You know, whether there's homework due or not. Like it's worth the grind. Like
And like it's like the beginning of our first year and
a lot of pressure.
And like everyone's just trying to find their friend group. So it's not even just FOMO at this point. It's like, okay, if I don't go, like I'm not as much a part of the group.
Exactly. That's what it is. Because everybody like, how many weeks in are we? Like 5 weeks now?
Yeah, probably five. Sounds about right.
So
a little over a month.
Yeah. Like we've only known these people for a month. So you feel like you really need to like get those connections
like
down.
Submerge yourself fully. Yeah.
Which upperclassmen always say like, oh, you don't need to worry about it too much. Like there's always opportunity, but it doesn't change the fact that it can
in the moment it feels
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like we definitely have friends who are like who like I feel like they are like never like doing homework or like at least I never see them, and it's like, hey, like want to hang out, and I'm like I can't like
well, to be fair, you have a lot of work like with the 6 classes,
right? But like I mean I still try my best to get everything done. A lot of my classes are async, so it's
okay.
But I do have like Friday night classes.
You have a Friday night class?
Yeah, and I guess it's like evening until like 6 on a Friday, and I mean people are already starting to do like Friday night activities.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, guys, wait for me. Like,
let
me just run back to my dorm, like get dressed. So
Here's a question I like to ask a lot on the podcast. So if anyone's a returning viewer, you've heard this before, but what is your dreams? And then I have a follow-up question after that. What is the main dream in life? Apart from financial stability, apart from financial success, or maybe your dream is financial success, but what is the dream?
Wait, so
what's the pipe dream?
Do you want us to stay away from like the cliche, like good family and all that stuff?
Yeah, no, I want specifics. Like I don't want like a general like I want to live in like a house.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to live in an apartment.
Dreams, if I like could be completely unrealistic, I would probably go a musician full time, an artist, like DJing, around the world like that. I guess that's a dream that I would love to, be a part of.
Why not?
But why not?
Why not?
That's such a good. Well, I guess I kind of am right now, but I did tell you, I'm not like, dropping $500 on Facebook ads to push my music out there.
Yeah.
So it's more of like, I'm definitely like putting in the work to get music out there and improve. It's more of like, I don't want to artificially try and boost that.
Okay.
I'd rather just let it passively grow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, because I love dreams. Dreams is probably like one of my favorite things to ever talk about.
Yeah.
Why not drop what you're doing now and follow that? Is it a fear of I might not make it and then I have nothing to do, and you want that foundation to live off of? So you might get that job with a software engineer and then you can follow your passions. Is it that like you don't want to fail, or is it like I don't know if I'm fully on board with that dream, like that type of thing? Which one? Like it?
That's such a tough question. Yeah. Well, it's more of like I do love software engineering. I like making things. As I said earlier, when it comes to like going full time with music, it's just such a saturated market, and people don't understand like how much of a grind it is. Well, I feel like people do. Like it is so tough, and you always hear about the success stories, but that's like the percent of a percent.
It's luck too, in my opinion.
There's
a
lot of
luck.
Of
it is luck.
There's a luck factor. There's plenty of industry plants and all that, and I feel. You hear about a lot of artists though, and like they eventually make it when they just start as like with the mindset of, like this is just a hobby, and I'll keep it like that. So it's not like, I'm discouraged by, having this as a hobby, because I do like doing it for fun, and I don't want it to, feel like, this is just a job, and
that makes sense.
Kind of dread doing it. I love it as a passion. I love to work on music with other people, get their reaction. DJing's really fun, just like seeing everybody
Right.
out and like
Yeah.
reacting to certain mixes.
sweet,
It's always
yeah.
just so fun. Like
That
it
is
just
sweet.
puts a smile on my face. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, keep it as a passion for now. But
Cool. That's a good answer. Great answer.
All right. So I've been thinking while Adam's talking, and
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of dreams. I don't know if you want me to go in terms of like career or like I don't.
I want you to go in terms of life.
In
Or like-
terms of life.
Yeah.
go
Well,
crazy with
then
it.
I'm gonna go the really cliche path.
Okay.
I'm sure this is a lot of people's dreams, but like I know I've made it when I'm like in my house, like with my husband on Christmas Day, and like we're watching our kids open our presents. Like I know how
So cliche.
I know that is so cliche, but I
Yeah.
honestly think that's when I'll know like I made it. Like despite like where my career's gone
So
or whatever. That
wholesome.
no, it really is. But like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, like that is
That's dope.
like my goal, I guess.
That's
dope.
the end game.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then as for career, it's like totally different.
Mhm.
I want to open like my own practice for dentistry. I think a step up from that is like I do want to discover like a new technique that
Whoa.
like I want to like spread out into the world. Like I want to see other people or other dentists like using like a technique that like maybe I've discovered. I mean, that's just like a that's as you're saying, it's just a dream, but like it'd be so awesome
That's
if
sweet.
that happened.
That's sweet.
So yeah,
I
thought
like
about
that.
that a lot.
Here's another good question. I like to ask this one. Is there anything, because for me, I'll give an example. For me, at least, I've noticed a huge change in my personality and my character and who I am, and my values through COVID. Like, because there's a lot of time that you took to yourself. There's a lot of individual time. You learn from yourself. Was there any time period in your life where you were like, I just made a huge switch and I'm really happy that this happened?
Okay, I'll start this off.
It's kind of a hard question, but
I guess like our college applications were during the time of COVID.
yeah.
And as someone who's always like, you know, tried to achieve like, you know, like more, I really expected to get into a lot of the colleges that I applied to. And I got waitlisted at like a bunch of the schools I wanted to go to. I got waitlisted at like my dream college, and I really
What was it?
Cornell.
Oh, Cornell.
And
You got waitlisted, though. That's awesome.
yeah, and I really thought like that was just the end.
Really?
Like I was like, I think I was sad for like maybe a month straight,
Yeah.
but like I feel like being waitlisted there has been like the best thing that's like happened to me.
Yeah.
Like I grinded all of last summer. I totally changed my viewpoint on like the prestige of colleges. Like that was really all I was going for. Like I wanted to go to Cornell so I could tell people, oh,
I go to Cornell.
I know
Totally
it's so
can
it's
relate.
so
Yeah.
shallow, but that is like one thing that I've noticed has like really changed me. Like it's not about like the name of the school you go to now. Like I'm, you know, working towards like what comes after that. And that's something I think a lot of people like fail to recognize. And I also did too, but it was a really important lesson that I needed to learn. Like,
That's super good.
mhm.
That's super good.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
That was such a deep response. I feel like I can't follow that up.
That was really solid.
But I gotta say, like, kind of one switch for me was definitely after the college admissions process and everybody made their decision.
Right.
It's like the whole prestige thing, I felt just kind of like fell off. Like I remember beforehand, it's like so much pressure
Right.
about going to these prestigious schools
Yeah.
and like it's, you know, such a flex.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, like, you know, once you're at these schools, it's like all that
Right,
matters
it
is that
doesn't
internship or that job.
Right.
It's just work experience. Well, especially for like tech and like the tech industry. So like it doesn't matter what school you're going to. If you have like, you know, an internship at Amazon,
Right.
nobody cares where you got your undergrad.
Yeah,
as long as you
exactly.
graduated, you know?
And another thing is like prestige is always going to be there. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's always going to be something else that you're striving for. And so like if you let that
100%.
consume you,
Yeah.
it's just you're working towards like trying to flex on other people and you're never going to be happy. And like I think that's what made like my high school experience so miserable. It was always like, okay, like I need to get a good test score, not because I wanted a good test score for myself, but like, oh, to like beat these other people. And
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
a horrible mindset to have. And I feel like I didn't recognize that until like after the college admissions process. And like, you know, there's always going to be someone who's better than you. Like you need to do things for yourself.
Yeah. Like during the whole, you know, college admissions process, you just don't realize how important all the other factors are as far as like quality of life. Because I feel like because of like the work hard, play hard mentality here, I'm able to perform so much better.
Right.
Because it's just like the relaxed environment and being able to, you know, go play spike ball and blow off steam in that way. Just like the extracurriculars, being near the beach, like you just feel happier. And when you are happier, you perform better, just naturally.
Yeah.
And also like I know like I said a bunch of stuff that contradicts this, but I don't want to like invalidate anyone who's like sad about not getting into their dream school. Cause I honestly can't think of like one other thing in life where you spend like 4 or like if you count like middle school, like 7 years of your life dedicated to one thing. And it's basically like a yes or no answer. Like I thought about this.
Wow.
That is crazy.
I think with jobs, like there's always going to be another one. You switch around. But with colleges, I really can't think of like one other thing like this system where you're just working towards this one goal. And at the end, they literally give you a yes or no answer.
That's pretty crazy.
So I think like that system in itself is really flawed. Like it will mess like a lot of kids up mentally. And it's really sad. Like when you see like, thank you for applying. And it's just, you know, it just sucks.
It's just so funny because upperclassmen always tell us these things like, oh, it doesn't matter and this or that. But you never believe it. You never believe it.
One thing I've worked on a ton is not comparing myself to others. I hate comparing myself to others. And the one thing to keep in mind is just compare yourself to like your yesterday's self and work on yourself and work on today and do things that you know are going to benefit you. But also use other people's success as motivation. Yeah. Don't get jealous of them, but we'll get jealous in a healthy way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just important to just kind of, you know, strive for your own goals and you learn from yourself. Right. I don't know where I was going with that, but
I have to ask, what do you mean compare yourself to other people in a non-jealous way? What did you mean by that?
So if I were to compare myself to someone in a jealous way, I would want what they want.
Okay.
If I were to compare myself in a non-jealous way, I would look at what they have and I would look at how they got there and I would use it motivation to get what I want in the same type of manner that they did. So like
healthy and encouragement almost, like
like
self-motivation.
That. Just like some inspiration. Like
thank you. Cool. Some inspiration.
Kind of mimicking their
that's
strategy.
Nice.
In a way.
Okay, got it.
Like if you were to have an idol, like that would be a healthy way.
Oh, okay.
That's a healthy jealousy.
Okay, I just need a clarification on that.
Do you have an idol?
Yeah, I have a few idols.
Like as far as like the whole podcast thing, or just
Logan Paul was my idol for podcasting.
Oh wow! Okay.
Actually,
yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay,
I watched like all of his podcasts, probably not all of them, but probably like 50% of them.
So you view him differently than like the public does, right?
I was gonna say,
he's got like a weird like rep right now.
No, he has done a lot of controversial things, but I think as a person, he's doing really well now. I think he's learned from what he's done and he's made good changes. And if you watch his podcast now, he's actually like he's doing really good things.
Okay,
you're talking about the thing that happened like a few years ago, right?
Right.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah, that
one thing.
That one thing.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that he's learned from that for sure.
And you don't think it's like a show now? Like he's trying to like appear as like, I know that's.
I don't know. I ask myself that a lot. Like I don't know if he's actually a good person or if he's doing that.
Okay.
But I think that he's genuinely like made a good like what I was talking about earlier, like making that switch, that 180.
Right.
I think he's genuinely made that switch.
Right.
And like he's
sure.
Yeah, and I also don't necessarily like support him, but one thing I will acknowledge is like he has really good like work ethic.
That's what I like about him.
Yeah.
He's really solid about like working. Yeah. And it's just the people he brings on his podcast are just cool. So that's why I like it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Good content to listen to.
Yeah.
People on your podcast are pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Especially like the people today, you know.
Oh yeah, in particular.
Yeah.
What was that reaction? No.
I know. I don't rank my podcast. I don't like look back and be like whose was the best. I don't do that. I think they're all like great.
Yeah. No, they all are great.
They all, I'm sure they are. Yeah.
we're getting near a close. What is the last topic we want to talk about? I want to leave it up to you guys. We got 6 minutes left. What do you want to talk about?
Dang.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I was expecting you to throw one more topic.
I'll throw one
do you
more.
wanna
I'll throw one more. Yeah, I
on us?
will.
Yeah. Oh, he's thinking.
Yeah, I am thinking
right now.
Just give me a second. Like, play Rochambeau or something real quick.
No way.
Yeah, do it.
Hey, real quick.
Oh, hit him with it. Hit him with
Okay.
it. All right. What are your goals for the rest of the year, the rest of the quarter? What do you want to get out of their first year of college?
Ooh. Okay. Academically speaking.
No,
or-
socially. Like,
Okay, socially.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, next quarter I'm thinking of getting into a fraternity,
Yeah.
rushing. So beforehand, kind of like evolving my whole DJ skill,
Okay.
and like getting my name out a little bit more.
yeah.
Because here in college, like social wise, I would love to DJ, like big parties, like frat parties and stuff. I think that would be really fun. And so to kind of get there, I need to obviously grow my reputation a little bit, on that side of things. But beforehand, I got to release music. So the plan is release some music, DJ more, get a little more of a reputation.
Yeah. Hold on.
That's the plan.
This is really funny. Do people
Yeah.
refer to you as like a DJ guy or anything? Because,
People come up to me and say, "Are you the DJ?" And I'm like,
dude, seriously,
"Yes."
that's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny. Because people always walk up to me like, "Are you the podcast guy?"
Yeah,
Like, it's hecka
yeah,
funny.
that's
And they're
how
like,
it
Can I be on the
goes.
podcast?
Exactly.
It's really funny because I was thinking about it before I went to college. I was like, it's definitely gonna happen. Like, if I
Oh, yeah.
create enough podcasts, people are gonna start referring to me as a podcast guy.
For sure. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, especially the first few weeks, like getting introduced to like friends of friends, it was always, we'd be talking for a few minutes and they'd be like, "No, wait, you're the DJ." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's
Like,
pretty funny.
yeah, no, but I could definitely see the podcast thing for you as well.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Kelly,
That's
what about you?
funny.
What are your hopes?
I mean, I just hope that I get the courage to join some clubs. I mean, I went to the club fair, but
Yeah.
Are you in
there's-
any right now?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But I really want to join some of them. It's just like I don't know what's holding me back.
It's same for me.
It's overwhelming. I
Yeah,
know I
it
need
was.
to be in these clubs, meet these people that have the same interests as me, but I don't know what's like stopping me. I think I like give myself the excuse that like, oh, I'm just so busy. I don't
Yeah.
have time for this, but it's a lot, like especially when you've just moved into college. Like I don't have enough like social battery to really like push myself out there. So that's definitely my goal, to join a few clubs by the end of the year for sure.
I think it's
Yeah.
fun though, like this quarter though, to kind of like take it chill, because you're trying to like meet
Yeah.
people in so many other
Right.
ways, and
Yeah.
there's so many other social settings here
Yeah.
than just clubs. Like clubs is kind of a forced relationship, which is a good thing.
Right.
But I feel like that you could probably hold off on a little bit.
Right.
'cause
Club
it's-
fair was crazy. There's like
Yeah.
there was like 250 clubs
There's
probably.
too many. Yeah, there's way too many clubs. And I think
Yeah.
the thing that's like stressing me out is people,
deciding.
I mean, I don't feel ready to like go join clubs, but there are people who tell you like you need to like go now.
Yeah,
Like start when you're like
start early.
start early so you can
Mm.
get like leadership positions like in the end and whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like now I know I need to do that, but like I'm not doing it. And it's just like in the back of my head, like, oh my God, I need to go sign up for clubs, but I just
Yeah,
haven't
and
done
with
that yet.
what 20,000 students here and all the clubs, it's so overwhelming like how to choose.
Right,
I
yeah.
think just the CS clubs I like wrote down on that day
Yeah.
or scanned into my phone, it was like 14.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Yeah, it was like 14, and they're all like very similar CS clubs too.
That's
So it's like you have to
funny.
decide between those and like cut it
Right.
down, and it's just
Right.
like oversaturated.
Yeah, a lot of this whole first month has been a little overwhelming. There's been a lot of things
Yeah.
that people are saying, go do this, go do that.
Right, yeah.
But like for theater, for example, I really wanted to do the play, but the what do you call them? What do they call auditions? The auditions, you know how I moved on a Saturday or something like that? Wait, did we move in? Maybe.
Yeah.
The auditions were like the next day after move-ins.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like, how were we supposed to audition like a day after moving? Like, it was just super
It's
overwhelming.
str-
So
yeah,
I heard a
no.
lot of guys like, with sports as well. Like the tryouts were literally like 2 days after, and
Yeah,
nobody
like-
knew about them,
Mm.
and so they just gotta wait, and that's the
Right.
only way to go
It's-
about it.
college happens fast, and they're not gonna
Really?
wait on you.
No, yeah, no one.
No one waits
for
on you. That's what like with my professors or like different from colleges. I mean, high school and college. In high school, you can talk to your teachers, and they might reach out to you like, "Hey, you're failing a class. Like, you need to do this." But like, if you fail a class in college, they don't care. Really. Like, they're not going to say.
Oh
anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
it's
weird.
definitely on your own.
I actually do have some professors though that are really nice. Like
Really?
they reach out to you when you've
Oh.
got like an assignment missing. I mean,
I've never been reached out.
Yeah,
to
like
in
high
college.
school teachers tell you that won't happen, but it really depends
Oh.
depends on the professor, I think.
Is it a smaller class? Is that why maybe?
Yeah, like around like 30, 40
Oh, okay,
people.
yeah.
So
My classes
it's
are pretty
really
large.
nice.
So
To be fair, he didn't like post the assignment, so like only
Oh.
half of the people did it.
Oh,
And
well,
then-
that's a little
yeah, and
different.
he's like, "Why didn't you do it?" Like blah blah, and I'm like replying his email like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll get it done in the next hour."
Have you guys
So,
skipped
yeah.
any classes yet?
Oh yeah,
You have?
yeah.
Really?
I've skipped maybe
Well, I
like
feel like you kind of have to. You just have so much work to do. It's like
yeah. No, I always skip the classes like on the day and maybe like the day before like a big test.
okay.
So I won't
You
go.
skip the review days, or you mean other classes?
I mean other classes and sometimes that class if I
Really?
because
How come?
That's
I
crazy.
learn better in like async style, like or like
Oh.
teaching myself. I cannot sit through a lecture. I cannot take in like what a professor is telling me. I don't know why,
Gotcha.
but it just like all my classes just feels like a waste of time to me at least.
So do you just like to read the material on Canvas or something? And
Yeah, I like to like read the textbook and then
Oh.
like do practice problems. Like that's always how it goes.
do you consider yourself a pretty good student?
Yeah, I mean I think that I work hard.
Yeah.
I like really put in the time for things.
Mm.
I wouldn't say like naturally gifted. I'm not sure like there's anyone who's like who can just be smart and like get A's in their class. Like you always,
No,
it's
yeah,
always
it's
the people
definitely
who
a-
have to put in the most.
Yeah, of
effort.
course.
College is
With
an
anything.
effort thing.
With anything, yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely grades here. It's an effort base.
Right. No, of
It's
course.
how much
yeah.
time you put in.
Yeah.
So
How much do the grades matter, like between like an A and a C? Like, does it matter? Like, do we have valedictorians? Is that a thing?
think
You have
so.
like honors, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And also like depends on your major. Like I'm an engineer, so my GPA does matter.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I gotta
Yeah.
actually focus up.
Yeah,
I can't just
mine too.
pass with all C's. Like I can't just pull
I
that.
can. I can do that.
Well,
Really? What mamajor are you again?
Business? I don't know
Business,
if it
oh.
matters or not, but
Oh yeah.
probably.
I haven't really
Yeah.
thought.
Definitely not as much.
Yeah.
No, I think
It
for
still
like
could help.
for pre-med students it definitely
yeah.
just like if
Oh,
you
if
wanna-
you're
doing graduate.
like nursing school or something, like your grades
Yeah, or, like,
definitely matter.
Yeah, med school, like you have to have the highest GPA possible.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So
Yeah.
Well, all right. We satisfied with today's episode? You guys good? You ready to wrap it
Yeah.
up?
No, definitely.
yeah.
Started. I'm not gonna lie. Started a little nervous, but
You
chilled
calm?
out.
You chilled
yeah.
out? We'll get you on again, and then we'll be like really comfortable.
Exactly.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's what
really.
I'm thinking. Like
Yeah.
this is like the test run. We
Yeah.
could come back. I'd be.
No, I'd be
be down
down to
for
come
that.
back.
Yeah, that'd be really
We
fun.
had some good conversation.
You guys did
yeah,
really
but-
good at keeping the conversations going. I was up in Adam for a little bit. Adam. I was up and doing things because a few
Yeah.
technical difficulties, but thank you. This has been
Thank you.
episode 22 of The Meadow. Dylan,
Adam.
Kelly.
peace.
So yeah.